Hello, this is Nathan, better known as CrazyhermitDM, and this is my podcast, The Hermit's Homebrew. Joining me today is Brent from Lang Mini Studios, and Chase, better known as Kilk, as we talk about Dungeons & Dragons and tabletop gaming. So then we get to our last session, which is the 60th session. Overall, the campaign, I did kind of like a very long the road so far supernatural thing of like, this is 3 year. I went back and looked at my records. It's like 3 years and 3 months of campaign, literally 1 month shy of 2 months in Muspelheim, and I named it Leaving Muspelheim as because I try and name the sessions or whatever just for my own personal like fun on my little notes. So she claimed the spark. You guys kind of questioned her what happened. She's like, I don't know. Just a flash of light.
Like, yes.
Yeah.
From a mechanical point of view, because you guys all turned to level 17.
Woo.
I explained to her, I doubt you'll notice, but if you do, you now have the spark. You have a +1 to all your stats.
Nice.
Knowing that you're basically divine now. In full, it's just now going to really ramp up and grow.
I mean, she has one true believer.
Yes.
Yes.
Great.
Oh, yeah.
And she already has basically her first believer.
Like
at the
ardent. Yeah.
Yeah, at the moment. We'll get to that here in just a bit, too, because there's actually more than one now. But I explain the group kind of heals up. I go in Tim Burton claymation fashion. This kind of bridgeway goes off to the side and the door opens. You guys reluctantly kind of go and follow it and basically find yourselves in a treasure room. And that led to some fun with you guys because we got to raid, a treasure room for a trial of a god, and she got a spark of a god, but you guys
got the loot of a god.
Got the loot. There was tons of gold and platinum. Flint revealed that he had a portable hole, which I think two of you... was that the first time you've ever heard about the portable hole, Chase?
Yeah, it was. I'd never heard of it before. I thought it was a made-up item. I thought it was awesome.
Yeah, no, wait, the second you said he pulled like this black like sheet out of his bag, put it on the ground, started unfolding it, I immediately went, oh, it's a portable hole!
Yeah,
yes. I thought that was cool, but the name, It's a Portable Hole, is just so goofy to me that I couldn't believe it.
Yeah. Yeah, if you have to like read the item description, if I remember correctly, like you can walk up to a wall and throw it on the wall, and as long as the wall is only like a certain number of feet deep, you can now walk through the wall and take the portable hole with you.
It opens up to an extra dimensional space that's 10 feet deep, and you just throw things in it.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
it's a large bag of holding.
Nice.
Literally shoveling gold into it.
Yeah, Merrick acquired Freyr's pre-Ragnarok warship in a sack, and he also acquired a shield of spell turning.
Mm-hmm. I've been thinking about it. Merrick is not gonna hold on to that boat.
Oh, okay.
I have a plan for it.
Okay.
But yeah, the spell shield though, that's freaking awesome. Yeah. That's an amazing item.
Though it was actually meant for Tove, it ended up going to Toy Bar, surprisingly. It was a critical role item. The diadem of dual concentration. I figured she could...
Oh, 2 concentration spells.
Yeah, she could throw up 2 concentration spells and make herself feel a little more offensive, but it...
Yeah, she immediately gave that to me, and Toy Bar's not going to decline magic items.
Yeah, no. Of course not.
Right? I thought that was... a little strange, but I also don't know how many concentration spells druids have, because I've never played one.
She could throw up, like, multiple walls and all that as well, though. That's kind of what I was thinking. She could really form into a battlefield type, like, controller, but...
Actually, looking at her spell list, like, half of the druid's spells are concentration.
Yeah.
Are they? Like, Toy Bar wouldn't hold it from her. She'd be like, hey, actually, I've been thinking about it. I want that back. Like, I'd give it back to her. I was just surprised.
Yeah. And if she wants it back, she wants it back. As you said, I don't think any of our group's going to be that type of people like, no, it's mine.
It's my precious.
Yeah, exactly.
Throw it in the fire. No.
Then you screwed everybody. Good job, Isildur.
One of the kind of like, because it was just a serious fight other than basically being curb stomped by a giant golem. One of just the kind of mood shifts into basically kind of back into, it felt like a quote unquote normal D&D campaign of when he was pulling out his portable hole and making all the hole puns.
Oh my God, yes.
Oh yeah, the hole puns.
Oh my God, so many. Jeez.
Everybody was asking, well, what should we do with this item? And then Flint's just like, stick it in my hole.
It was great.
Yeah. It just devolved and like, all right, this is the D&D we know.
Or what are we going to do with all these jars full of gold? He's like, I'm just sticking them all in my hole.
It's like, oh God. And of course it was the bard.
Of course. The more interesting, I think, what item did Toy Bar get besides the diadem? There was one cool one. Unfortunately, I could not remember.
I got the flying carpet.
Yes.
Oh, the flying carpet. Yeah, like great. Toy Bar now has to never walk again. Great.
No. And that was I was going through.
You guys found me sleeping on a bench when we started this campaign. It might end with me just floating away, sleeping on a flying carpet.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying.
You found me sleeping on the bench. That's how it's gonna end.
That came about for me looking at Dojon 5e and just going through random magic items. Like, what should I? These people deserve something after being here for a couple months. Like since summer, with the way we've been able to play, unfortunately.
Yeah.
And that flying carpet came up. I'm just like, yeah, that's Toy Bar.
Yeah, that's exactly.
I've already used it. Remember, we had to go down that chute, and I was just like, hey, why don't you just hop on? We'll just float down. So me and Tove just floated down. We floated down instead of like climbing down the ladder. We just floated straight down.
The ladders are for pedestrians.
The interesting item, or the most interesting roleplay loot item that was given, was in a jar that had two shadows.
Yeah.
That everybody was super cautious about. And then to keep with it's back to a regular D&D session type thing, I made Flint was questioning Merrick's like, what should I do with it? And then I think you said it out of character, but you actually just said it out loud. Just smash it. And then...
Oh, yeah.
You guys are talking all about this, and Flint holds up his thing, and he just whaps up.
Like, Flint, I'm going to kill you.
It was great.
And then
because he was trying to... We were pushing all the money into the hole.
Yeah, we were like literally just using like shields and stuff to shovel piles of gold. Yeah,
and then he was rolling like jars in and just cracking them as they fell in.
Yeah, it's just okay.
And no one minded him taking the gold. What are you gonna do with all that gold? He's like, I'm gonna gamble.
Yeah, that's fine. Now he's the left-hand guy of a god, though.
Yeah,
there's a difference between him just being a normal bard running around. Now, if he gets in trouble with like a Mahadi type of situation, she can just be like, "All right, we're gonna handle this."
But he ended up smashing the jar, and then what came out of it was probably the most interesting. It was this kind of like black Icorish burnt, like I described it like in the shape of a giant
like almond
that's so bit bigger than a rugby football. It isn't like an American football, but a rugby one that's a little bit bigger.
Mm-hmm.
And then after some checks and figuring out, most of the people kind of rolled the lousy, actually, trying to figure out what it was, except for Rama, who rolled with... No, it was Tove that rolled with advantage. And then I go, you're theorizing this is possibly a seed of Yggdrasil somehow, or something along those lines. Something to do with the Yggdrasil and it being a seed of such.
Yeah, a seed of the world tree. Like, oh, shit.
Whether this is actually a world seed or something to grow possibly a 10th realm, in quotations, or a different, smaller plane.
Yeah.
You don't know yet.
Yeah, this has got some serious like potential.
It also kind of I figured with that item and that falling to her, that would help set her up for, besides just basically being the cat lady in the tree at the end of the campaign, because it says in her epic path, you go rejoin, or you go join the Yggdrasil. Like,
Yep.
Physically, metaphysically, in all shapes and forms.
Kind of like in the new God of War, when you get your the broker and Sindri have a house like literally in the branches of the world tree, and you leave and you can walk around and you run into Ratatoskr and you can see like the lindworms beneath, and you can move through the branches. That's kind of what I'm envisioning.
A little bit, yeah. But it definitely set up for something epic, depending upon and it's all on her. It's whatever she wants to do with it. Whether if she don't do anything, she don't do anything, but it's up to her. But the group kind of rested and took it easy a teeny bit, and then we kind of found a hole that led down. You guys were a little bit worried just because it was Odin's everything.
Like, we were in like the throat of a volcano, and we found a path going down. We don't want to go further down.
Yeah. And that's the one that we floated down.
Yep.
Yeah, because you guys teleported in the spark of the chamber, so you don't know quite where this chamber is as opposed to the rest of the volcano. But the side chamber where the treasure is, and then another side chamber, then it leads straight, Zelda or video game fashion, straight back down to the entrance.
Yeah. Yeah, you came around.
Yeah, of course, right?
Yeah, you go through this.
That's how you get out of the dungeon.
Yeah, this super complicated path. Oh, hey, we're 5 feet above the entrance. Okay, cool. Great, thanks. Ba-doop.
Now, here's a fun question. Could we have found that entrance before going in?
If you guys would have searched hard enough, yeah. Whether you guys had, figured out a way to activate it would be a different thing, because it did do the claymation thing and open that I was explaining. I guess for lack of...
I'm just curious, right? It's more of like I guess the better question was that planned beforehand, that's where we would come out?
Yeah, I had all the, rooms kind of mapped off, just not in my head, actually, on a piece of paper. And then it always to come back to the entrance, just as a throwback to all my classic 90s video games I suppose if you guys would have rolled high enough or said, we search everywhere in this front entrance, meticulously, and then I would have, for lack of a better term of describing, because I don't know how else I'd describe it, I go, you look up at the ceiling and there's kind of a teeny hole that looks like an anus.
Flint, get in there. And we're back to the whole joke.
Yes. Just because it claymationed open and then shut when you guys came back down. That led, though, to you, Toy Bar, coming up with a great role-playing moment. Once you guys got to the entrance, you wanted to make a grand re-entrance to the outside.
Yes.
Yeah, so this was a moment in my brain where I was like, we don't always do really goofy stuff in this campaign. And it was a moment for me to be like, hey, you know all those superhero movies you see and they're walking in slow motion and explosions are happening and they're like, yeah, we're badass.
Yeah, this is our Avengers Assemble moment. Yeah.
Yeah. This is our moment to actually do this for fun. And it was cool. The setup. Especially because I geist a fire elemental.
Oh yes.
Yeah, there's a fire elemental following you around, yeah.
But I've kind of given him complete free will of that.
Yeah, that's the part I was actually just going to bring up. You actually released him from the Geist and asked, do you want to continue? And he's like, well, as long as we're not going anywhere super cool, Niflheim.
Yeah. Because he is a fire elemental.
Yeah, he's going to hang out with us as long as we don't go anywhere cold.
Yeah. Which everywhere was going to be cold for him besides Muspelheim.
Yeah.
Just like, see, that's a teeny spoiler for that's going to be Merrick's biggest role-playing challenge going back to Midgard. It's going to be cold.
It's going to be cold as balls.
And it could be midsummer 100 degrees out, it will still feel cold to him. No matter, he will always forever be cold.
Yeah. So, middle of summer, and Merrick's over there with a freaking scarf around his neck and stuff. Yeah.
I'm just excited because it's going to be interesting to see who believes you.
Believes what?
That he is who he says he is.
Oh. Okay,
He's a Surtur kid now.
yeah, he left as a half elf,
Like-
and he comes back as, a tiefling, yeah.
And it's not like, oh, he got polymorphed or changelinged or whatever. He was done with Surtur's resurrection. Like,
Yeah, this
is what he is now.
Yeah, it's not like like you said, it's not like
It's
a
a curse.
Yeah, this is his true form now, yeah.
Yeah, this is your.
So
It's kind of like Silvera. This is your new body.
Yeah, so yeah, it is going to be interesting. Yeah, like, and to the point to where if enough people be like, dude, I don't know who you are, but you're not him, so go away. That may just be the nail in the coffin. And Merrick just goes, you know what? Screw it. I'm done with Midgard. I'm just going to go back to Muspelheim. That's home now because these people don't want me here. Type of a situation, you know.
yeah, who knows?
Yeah, who knows? Yeah.
Tieflings aren't uncommon.
Yeah, yeah. Merrick slept with one like 5 sessions in.
So
So what you saved?
Yeah,
Hey, I know I saved your life and everything.
Yeah,
so,
I like-
about that.
like that is not how I envisioned that going down in
man.
my head. But like 5 seconds into that, everyone's like, "Oh wow!" Like, "Oh no, Merrick's an asshole." No.
and then she's just like, you
Okay.
rolled a high enough persuasion. She's like,
Okay.
okay.
Yeah. Like, oh no. Yeah.
Because you're a noble and she was a beggar too, as well.
I thought she was a merchant.
Oh, she's a merchant beggar. She wasn't highborn by any means. She probably felt like, especially in an empire that has, based on slavery.
Oh no.
Probably felt a little bit more like
No.
appetite.
No.
Like, I gotta listen to the noble.
It just keeps getting worse.
It just
for him,
keeps
man.
getting worse. Oh my god, Merrick's a dick. God damn it.
I mean, it is roughly based off like a French version of the Roman Empire. That's the way it was always like meant in my head.
Oh my.
Yes.
Okay, we can never talk about that again and I'll be happy.
Okay. Good thing we didn't have the podcast at that point.
Oh. Yeah.
But you guys get out, you make your big thematic grand entrance with dancing lights, pyrotechnics thanks to Flint, and doing a slow motion cross arms to the side.
And the fire elemental.
And
Yeah, the fire on the back doing jazz hands.
Yes.
He didn't even know what was going on. We're just like, hey, do this. He's like, what is happening
Yeah.
here?
Don't worry, it'll look cool.
He was created. He has never left whatever little sphere that he had been in.
Yeah, he
for
was
400 years.
like technically he was just
He's created
born.
in that
Yeah.
sphere.
Well, yeah, because I think
So he's just like, this is so wild.
because you guys asked how old he was, and he's like, I don't know.
Yeah, he was just born pretty much as far as fire elementals are concerned.
He goes, I've been there a while, but I don't know how long is.
Yeah, I don't know how long that is. Yeah.
He goes, I don't have a measurement of time, which makes sense for an elemental.
He's like, especially in a
Yeah,
realm
for
that
sure.
doesn't have day or night. So
Yeah. I just been stuck inside that volcano till you guys came.
yeah. We freed him! Yay!
There's a couple of highlight points after that. You guys came back to Rathgrith, append your end of the deal. She did say, all right. And then she released the city.
Yeah, because we came out and it was the leader of
The
Zinxi's
Valkyr-
army.
Yep.
And
And we'll get to that here in a second.
Oh, yeah, okay, yeah.
But yeah, when you guys first came out, the Dragonborn battalion that we had mentioned before was finally there. At least half of it's up the mountain, or at least the battalion's halfway up the mountain, and he's there at the thing. The leader, Krimgash, which is Zinxi's third brother, the third and final brother. Colfax is gone, like gone, even with the Volpal sword. Rathgrith's Valkyrie was there until she summoned told Rathgrith, hey, come back down the route.
Yeah.
And then Gilvical actually seemed like he was a little bit more with it, and he revealed that Rathgrith had healed him a bit, but he was still, a macaw.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. God, poor Gil. Started out as a gnome, then he became a.
Hey, technically, his patron just healed him a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
If he
Makes sense, right?
If he made a deal, yeah. I haven't thought about whether he made a deal.
I don't know if he would, though, but who knows? It all depends on what Rathgrith's really offering, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
But getting back to that original point, she finally, after 2 years of being in Muspelheim, and the original plot point to this campaign, the city is freed and back in Midgard.
We have achieved a major objective.
I don't think you guys had contacted Kyle yet, or if he had contacted you.
I think that's where we ended the session, wasn't it? Was with the city being released?
It was the city being released. There was a couple other parts there.
Okay.
Flint was talking with... was it Krimgash? Because no one else could speak Draconic? Yeah.
Yep.
And then
Yeah.
And then, but that's when you guys kind of found out that Gilvick was talking, and then he's like, "Oh yeah, Rathgrith kind of healed me. I'm much more back to normal, but not like 100%."
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden, Gilvick turns his head while Flint is talking to this Dragonborn, and he looks shocked. And I think one of you guys asked what, and he goes, "He's announcing himself as the mouth of Rama."
Yeah.
As the Herald.
You just kind of assumed that title. Okay.
Yeah, he just kind of walked in and self-promoted himself without running it by Rama. And then when it got run by Rama, Vicky just kind of shrugged like, sure, okay.
Right.
Yeah, she was like, "Oh, yeah, that's fine. I don't say anything about it." I'm like, "Oh, cool."
Yeah, all right. Good
So, yeah.
job, Flint.
Flint just is now extremely rich and just basically walked into an office and walked into the manager's office and like, "I'm the new boss."
Yeah.
And that was the other thing was Krimgash announced by Draconic culture. She is the goddess that defeated their goddess, therefore they follow her now.
Yeah, so she's got a dragonborn army that like does what she says now. Like that's
and
awesome.
Then they all one by one down the mountainside in a very kind of like what the heck moment got down on their knees in front of her.
Yeah, kind of like at the end of the Disney movie Mulan, toward the emperor bows to Mulan, and everyone just like immediately drops down, and there's that wave through the crowd of the kneeling. Like, oh, cool. Sweet.
Which Vicky did not know how to take whatsoever. in stereotypical Rama fashion.
Kneel, peasants.
I mean, what can you do at that moment?
Right.
She can never walk again if she wants to. She could have these dragonborn just carry her around.
Yeah, and her and I have had a lot of conversations about opportunities with this and, utilizing a lot of real-world scenarios of what would happen in these situations. Or that have happened in the past, or even like in animes and stuff like that, right?
Oh, yeah.
So, because we do watch a lot of anime. So it's nice when I can be like, see, this happened, so these people are following this person. They'll just do whatever you tell them to do.
Yeah, it gives her a good point of reference.
Now they'll be good.
Yeah.
So, yeah, within 2 sessions, she's gotten her spark. She has a devout herald and an army.
Yeah.
So it was revealed that with Freyr's boat that you acquired, that it can fold out into a galleon.
Yeah.
And everybody but Toybar and Gilvickle got aboard the galleon. Dragonborn.
Yeah, we rode on the flying.
Yeah, you're too rich and hoity-toity to ride on my boat.
Me and Gilvickle has some stuff to talk about. That's why.
No, that's true.
Towards the end of the session,
Which hasn't been announced yet.
No,
it's all good.
Towards the end of the session, you guys get on this ship. What Dragonborn army you guys need to crew it. Tove is telling them how to fly because she is the only technical person that knows how to drive a boat.
Yeah, it's like I'm the owner, but she's the captain.
She's the pirate.
Yeah, so it's like, oh, that makes perfect sense.
Pirate background.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, which in a way it made me feel good because I never even thought about that, but it comes full circle of making that pirate background relevant.
Yeah, it goes back to her background exactly,
and it makes it relevant again without me actually And it's just a happy coincidence because I hadn't thought about it.
It happens more organically than like forced. So no, it was really good. Yeah,
I like the idea behind the possibilities of it, right? Especially if you say you're not planning on holding on to it. Like, think about Tove's character flying this like celestial barge through the branches of Yggdrasil, back in between all the realms whenever she wants to go somewhere.
Yeah,
like she's like a pirate in the branches of space. Yggdrasil's in the branches of space. Like, it's so cool. The idea of just the cool roleplay opportunities that it provides.
Yeah,
just that item being in existence is really cool.
Yeah, that's actually really cool.
But it was discussed among a couple of like the Dragonborn sages that they think that they could kind of group together the teleportation thing, open up a big enough circle, and drive the boat back into Midgard in a kind of Doctor Strange fashion.
Yep, everyone focusing on the same spell to enhance it. It makes sense.
Yeah. I like that from 3.5 to where if you had enough spellcasters like working together, you can get like 10th or 11th level magic.
And that's kind of where I did that. I'm maybe not 10th or 11th, but definitely like, especially teleportation spells, you can enlarge the circle if you have multiple people focusing on it.
Yeah, absolutely.
At the same time.
Yeah.
The only people that did not go with was Toybar and Gilvekel, who were riding on the carpet and astral skiff, as you guys kind of headed off your own particular way to visit a certain grandmother.
Yep, we are on our way to go talk to Baba Yaga.
And what the hell are you guys up to?
And that's actually where we left off. For you guys, like, you're going back to Midgard. Mm-hmm. You guys actually, there's one other thing. You guys took that boat and flew where the city was. Took a day.
Yeah.
Just to make sure Rathgirth upheld her version, and it was gone. And the chains that were holding it were on the ground.
Were slack. Yep.
And then the battle below it's basically a ghost town.
Yeah. Yeah, and now we have to go back and figure out like who's alive, who's not, and if there are vampires we have to worry about now, and explain why Toybar's missing his wedding day to his heartbroken fiance. And
maybe all I'm saying is that city is probably giant vampire nest now.
It's not only that, but it's probably looking worse than New Orleans after Katrina. It's going to take forever to rebuild that city back to where
if they can even do it. Who knows if another vampire lord comes in and takes over?
Well, not even just
and it just turns into a giant undead city.
Yeah, I'm not even talking about just like a vampire nest. I'm talking like structurally, it's been lifted out of a crater and then plopped back down.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah.
It spent what, a month in Muspelheim and shit like that.
Yeah.
Undergoing
there was probably some random fire giants still there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like fire giants, fire elementals, spiders that were eating people.
She's like, I just told him I'd return it. I
didn't say what state.
I put it back. It's just everything is still there. So there might be some fire giants and fire elementals and terribleness and
in typical
being shown up in this area.
And typical fire patron way, that wasn't part of the deal of like putting everything back to the way it was.
You didn't say it needed to go in right side up. You didn't say it couldn't be upside down.
I put the city back right side up. It just ain't gonna look like it was when I took it. But it leads you guys to thinking now. It leads into this kind of the setup for the final arc. Hey, tabletop gamers! Thank you for watching this episode of the Hermit's Homebrew. We come out with new episodes every Wednesday. Remember to like, subscribe, and share with your friends as we continue to level up and grow.